Welcome to Plymouth High School Youth Room. When you enter this place,
That's mashed. I get good.
Yo, what a weirdo.
I look antisocial.
I'm waiting.
Actually, no, I'm trying to make sense of what's in class, so I can't.
Fight them off.
I'm not gonna fight all of these segments. Evie's getting a toaster strudel. Oh my god! More people would come. Susan's making the sausage.
I'm just here.
Isaac's just here.
Isaac's just here. Since we can't do many of the things that we normally do, here are some of the things that we've been doing since March.
I am special.
I am inspiring. I am a child of God.
I am embraced.
I am safe.
I am a precious light.
I am wonderful.
We are home.
In this place, you are always welcome.
Hello friends, I'm Lindsay Brown. I am Plymouth's Minister of Vitality and Outreach, and I am coming to you today from Plymouth's Interfaith Chapel because this place is one place inside the church that is representative of all of our relationships and connections outside the church. Though often invisible, our connections with our community partners, other communities of faith, remain strong. We continue to come together as community to support the work of the Des Moines Area Religious Council, the Pantry Network, to keep people fed. We continue to come together with Family Promise to make sure families experiencing homelessness are housed. We keep coming together with the wider United Church of Christ to keep doing the work of justice and proclaiming the gospel of our still speaking God. All of this we keep doing while building relationships with organizations right here in our community like Interfaith Alliance and Amos. Your ongoing support of Plymouth helps us to show up with and for our community partners, listening to our neighbors' stories and sharing our own. Our stories, knowing what really matters to us as people of faith and knowing what matters to God, are key to vitality in our faith, to having a living and a growing faith. And it has been a gift to me to be able to grow into this part of my call with you over the last year. Whether celebrating confirmation with our 9th graders and their families in a totally adaptive, creative, outdoor confirmation service that some deacons referred to as tailgate confirmation, or connecting with members via Zoom to share and support and hear stories and laugh, whether that was Stump the Staff or 9 Online, or recruiting and listening to and coaching your amazing stories for our testimony series this summer and testimony service at the end of the summer, or connecting with you weekly for worship and for evening prayer. All of these innovations of how we come together to grow in love of God and neighbor have been a gift throughout this year. From our first Facebook Live videos back in March, which I'm pretty sure mine got posted sideways. We've come a long way. And we have been striving to innovate and adapt in order to keep coming together to grow in love of God and neighbor. Worship has been a huge component of that, and we have been so successful because of some forward thinking and a grant that from the foundation that helped pay for editing and other media services throughout the last year. In 2021, we'll need to move these services to our operating budget, and we need your help to sustain that good work. Please help by showing up in big ways or in small, whatever your gift. We thank you. As we close out, I'm going to give you just a little tour of this Interfaith Chapel, just a little bit more time and space until you're able to come and be here yourself.
Odds are you know our names, but not our faces. And since we're both introverts, we're okay with that.
And we're here to show you what we do here at Plymouth and how we work with their many ministries.
I'm Cindy. I'm Director of Communications.
And I'm Elsie, Communications Assistant.
And this is what we look like in a COVID world. As the Communications Department, one of our prime responsibilities is to handle branding for the church, making sure that everything looks consistent. And think of Nike, the Nike swoosh everywhere. At Plymouth, we have a stylized comma taken off of the God is Still Speaking campaign from the United Church of Christ.
One of the things we've been working on during the lockdown is signage at the main entrances, like this one. The third place that you'll see new Plymouth signage around the church is right here, off the Circle Drive of 42nd.
One of the major things we did through COVID is to design and create a new website. We worked with a company in Minneapolis, Minnesota that is used to working with churches, and timing was perfect because we had to pivot pretty fast to deliver all of our communications online. So between Facebook and the website, which is at www.plymouthchurch.com, you can find most anything you need to know about Plymouth. There's a calendar that will tell you everything, news items, and many pages that just take some time to go through, and we invite you to go through and read some of them.
Well, hi. I am Reverend Mary Kate Buchanan. I am Plymouth's Senior Transition into Ministry Pastor. I'm in my second and last year. I was ordained in the United Church of Christ just about 1 week before I arrived here at Plymouth. What do I do? I'm a pastor. I teach, I preach, I pray, I preside over communion, I baptize, I make phone calls, I preside over funerals, I officiate weddings. In short, I'm a pastor. I'm learning how to pastor, and I ask as many questions as I can during my time here at Plymouth. People keep saying, wow, you got a lot more than what you bargained for, a lot more than what you signed up for over this past year and a half at Plymouth. And it's true, I totally did. And yet, wow, am I so grateful. I love the people of Plymouth. I've had some incredible experiences here, but I want to share 3 of my favorite. Back when we were in the building, Pastor Leanne and I had this dream to start a ministry with and for older adults, and we called this Living Well, standing for Living Well, Oldering Well, and it was amazing. This group started to bond. This group started sharing experiences and stories about life and faith. They laughed together and we played games. It was incredible. I've also loved having the opportunity to lead a Bible study on Wednesday nights over the past year. Bible study was one of the highlights of my time at Plymouth so far. I was blown away by the connections and questions that this group made and asked. The folks asked about history and used their heads, but they also used their hearts. They connected with their hearts and their spirits, using what we all learned to inform their daily living. It wasn't just Bible study, but a group of faithful disciples. And then a third favorite experience I've had at Plymouth is spending time with our high schoolers. Many Wednesdays last year, I spent 45 minutes or so having conversations and connections, just talking with a small group of youth about life, our connections with the Bible, and our faith and what we do here at church. And then I had dinner with them many Wednesdays before I headed down to lead Bible study with the adults. I learned and I laughed a lot, and I saw some of their faces just last week when I led a communion service for them, socially distanced out in the parking lot on the upper deck. We learned and we laughed some more even after all of these months. So, why am I in the quilting room? That's where I am right now with all of these awesome pieces of colorful fabric sitting beside me on my right and on my left. Why am I here? Did you happen to notice that all 3 of my favorite experiences so far here at Plymouth have included small groups? They're small groups of 5 to 20, I guess, people, ish, usually. And this is another place where a special small group of Plymouth people come together in fellowship and to minister, to be ministers. This room. Our strategic plan, our new strategic plan, reminds us that, reminds us all that we are all ministers. And this is one place, right here in this room. This is one place that some folks have used their gifts, have realized their gifts and used them to minister, right here in this room. And I'm a visual learner, so the quilting room is super helpful for me. The quilting ministry helps me to see and experience what being a minister looks like. All these different colors and fabrics, all representing another person, a different minister at Plymouth, all coming together, weave together into something beautiful. So how can you live into this new strategic plan? How can you imagine yourself as a minister at Plymouth and out in the world? How can you live into your title as a minister? You might not be a minister through quilting, or maybe you are, but what are your gifts? Think about them, realize them, thank God for them, and use them. Use those gifts, be a minister. 2021 is going to be a great year, and it's not just because 2020 will be over at that point. We are going to do some super awesome, important work here at Plymouth as a congregation. Of course, you'll be doing the usual Plymouth things like saying goodbye to me and offering an extravagant welcome to your next TIM minister. But you'll also be living into this new strategic plan. You're going to be figuring out which pieces and parts you are drawn towards as ministers yourselves. You'll be searching for a new senior minister. You'll be the church in new ways, in powerful ways, in meaningful ways. So I want to say thank you for supporting me, one of your pastors, as I transition into ministry. And it's your turn to Tim. I look forward to supporting you in your ministry.